So I remember when I first started in recruitment, it was my first day in my new job. I got a job as a recruiter and I sat down and they said, "You're going to cold call in a week or so." I said, "I want a cold call now." And I was very nervous. Still am nervous when I cold call. Anyone that says they aren't, probably lying. So I picked up the phone. I was getting trained by a young lady and I picked up the phone and I was recruiting mechanics. And they said, "How can I help?" I said, "Do you need a mechanic?" And they said, "No." And I hung up. That was my first ever cold call. I'll never forget it. And lo and behold, it was just perseverance and hard work. And I just became the best at business development anywhere I worked. And subsequently started my own business. And I've never, ever struggled with clients. So the point I'm trying to make is when you start anything without experience, you're going to sound like a lemon. You're going to make mistakes. This is just part of it. This is just what you have to go through in anything. If I was to start a clothing brand or a coffee shop, I would buy the wrong coffee. I'd pick the wrong machine. Things are going to happen wrong. Yeah. So the first thing you need to do when you're starting an agency with no experience is just get over it. It's going to be fine. You'll learn as you go. Everybody started with zero experience at some stage. Now, some people worked at some companies, so they got a bit more training, but there's very little training anyway. You can probably just watch my videos. People have said to me, "Your videos have helped me more than the training I get at work," etc. And I can believe it. So statistically speaking, a barista gets trained more than a recruiter does. So back to my question and title of this video, how to actually start an agency with no experience. The first thing you want to look at is most probably your website, how your brand looks, what niche you're going into. Go into YouTube, type Cads Money niches, and a lot of videos will come up with me talking about niches. I've made quite a few videos on that topic because it is the make or break of your business. If you pick the right niche, it's a gold mine. It's like any other industry. If you pick the wrong one or you're trying to sell something that people don't want, you're not going to go anywhere. It's supply and demand, and you'll figure it out. Early on, you can sidestep and change. You can diversify. The smaller the niche, the better. Obviously, not too small. But again, it's not too much to go into this that topic in this video. Now, recruitment has shifted between, cold calling, direct marketing, picking up the phone. Nowadays, people are online and they see your company and they get an email from you or a cold call. They'll get back to you. They want to Google your company, see what you look like, see if you've got any skin in the game, and then see from there. So you must have a good sense of marketing or appeal or niche about you. A niche is a part of marketing that you can sort of do with that. So have a nice website, brand it well. The name isn't as important. I'm not a very good marketer, I would say, but you're probably better than me or you know someone that is. But starting an agency with zero experience isn't too much of a task. I would say it takes about 2 months to actually get going and actually start winning some clients. Now, there are people that have come to me and said, "Look, I've watched your videos, I followed your method, and I've won clients." So the first thing to do is get over the hurdle. Now, the hurdles are going to be, how does your website look? Yeah. Are you confident enough to go to market? Have you picked the right niche? So once you've got those sort of sorted, let's say, for example, you pick the right niche and you've got everything sorted and everything's going well, your website, your branding, your LinkedIn, your messaging people, emails are going out. The first thing you want to do is win a client. Now, you don't want to win a client. Sometimes I say go to the candidate first in certain situations, and you can use the candidate to pitch to companies that are really in demand or need that specific skill set. Now, the thing with that is you won't know the progress. You won't know the steps. You won't know how clients talk. It's all gain and experience. The more experience you gain, the more likely you're going to have a successful agency. So if you speak to 100 clients, you're more likely, whether the outcome is positive or negative or no response even is kind of a response, excuse me, or an indication of how it's going to go in terms of your niche that you've picked and your branding, etc. It's an indication of how things are going to go. You're going to get more data back between talking to 10 clients and talking to 100, obviously. So the first thing you want to do is pump out the emails, get in contact with as much companies as you can. The second step, if you've got no experience, is work out a funnel for your candidate. So you've got a client funnel, you know how many emails you have to send to actually win a client or client acquisition. But second stage is how you're going to get candidates, because it's all well and good having clients. I've got hundreds of clients that I can't find the candidates for. because they're not out there. So I've got positions open, for example. Now, you need a candidate funnel. How that comes about is up to you. You can use job boards. That's probably one of the easiest ways. Some are paid. Indeed is free in the UK. However, if you will work out a candidate funnel that most recruiters can't reach, that's where the money comes in. I personally do it. A lot of people do it through marketing. So they brand very well on LinkedIn and they message people and they do meetup events and they network, etc. I personally do it through referrals. That's how I do it. I don't particularly do it through um, like branding or marketing my agency well. Some people do that. I just think it's just a waste of time. It's not necessarily a waste of time, but it's not for me personally. So I just over time built up the reputation and people refer me. And also, my agency is quite a few years old now. So I get candidates that I've worked with and placed in, well, I can think of one person that I placed in like 4 or 5 jobs. So every year she changes HR. I don't even recruit in HR, but she always comes to me because she knows I'll always find her the job she's looking for or keep my eye out. Once you get established, bear in mind this video isn't a step-by-step method. However, I leave you with one thing to sort of touch on. Building an agency is tough, especially if you have no experience. However, if you spend the time and you dedicate the time and it takes time, you'll get there in the end. There's nothing stopping you doing it. All the best.